Ladies and gentlemen, hello. How we doing? How we doing? Oh, we have our Echo hooked up. Glad to hear that. All right. So this is a few moments, hours later than I thought. But we're here nonetheless. Forgot I split all this stuff in. I just need buildings for now, though. So, we are going to be continuing working on Project Nemesis Omega! O-U! As good old Cardine would say. And this is a massive take, an overhaul of the final mission of Brood War, where we get to see the three fleets that Kerrigan faced off against. They're going to be fighting her again, except the player, or players, will be controlling them. Kerrigan will be AI controlled as your enemy. You'll be able to play single player, 2-player, 3-player, up to 3 players cooperatively. AI will take over whoever's not there. And that's how it's going to be. So there you go. It's going to be quite a while before it's ready, but it's been pretty fun hanging around and showing you guys what progress we've been making up until this point. So why not continue? Now we are setting up placements for the AI's structures. On for size. There you go. I will probably have to adjust a lot of this stuff for it to be final, but I like the idea of the UED being a little bit more organized with their base layout than the Dominion. They'd probably also favor mech over infantry in general. Fine. Sure, why not? Slap down a couple armories over here. Of course, it can't be super organized and super well oiled and looking really symmetrical and ticking all of the boxes of somebody like me who's incredibly anal about certain details, while still being appropriate and you know, still being something that works for it, you know, being combat effective and all that. So, sort of a tough break in that respect. So yeah, I'm sure they won't shy away from using infantry, but I don't think that will be their focal point. I think they'll be a bit more interested in spamming out a bunch of I guess we'll seal this up. But yeah, they'll probably be more interested in preserving as many lives as possible. If I had to guess, that would be their MO. MO Mega. Nobody ever thought of that one, probably. I wonder if Blizzard, while developing their content, had somebody in the office that just made puns instead of working. I wonder if that's real. I imagine it probably is. Here, let's extend this out a little bit. The more maneuverability the map has, I think the better in general. So this is a little bit later than I normally do the modding streams. Again, like I mentioned, it's we're a little bit behind schedule for if we were doing a conventionally timed one. But that's okay. I think we're going to want to move that gas up to line it up with the add-on position. That'll be something like that. Right, because it's going to be like this. Pathing will probably be fucked with it anyway. That's something that can be tweaked after some testing occurs. I think the main thing about this AI that is sort of in limbo right now, not this specific AI, the UED AI, but just in general, this whole project is... It heavily requires... It's very, very reliant on some third-party development before the project can be secured. As in, we know that it's doable. Theoretically, I would be able to make it work without some of those things, but it would be a far worse piece of software, I think. Would not live up to my personal vision for the project. And I know, you gotta make sacrifices, compromises, whatever, but... would be nice if I didn't have to. This is what I meant when I said I'm anal retentive about certain things. Thinking that this might not actually be all that useful. Thankfully, I'm sure the layout will go through many revisions, so I don't need to nail it on the first time. It's been quite the productive week, though. Really, the entire month has been pretty productive, I would say. This time last year, I was working on Project Hydra still. But definitely more of a fan of the stuff that I've been able to assemble lately. Our tools are a little bit better as well, which never hurts. I want more turrets in various places. Whoa! Editor's trying to cheat for the players. There we go. That's one! We could probably find some spot to make a bunch of supply depots so that the AI has plenty of supply. Shockingly enough. Nobody could have predicted what I was going to say there. Maybe because this area won't really need that many, Maybe we can mark the positions of the add-ons. Maybe we can do something like this. I don't really want to do that on the left side. It'll block out a bit more pathing than I'm comfortable with. But I don't mind placing a couple there. I did a 7.5-hour stream yesterday, and unfortunately I'm now in a back and forth with YouTube to try to get it unblocked worldwide. Worldwide! Because, for whatever reason, I played Bongo Bong, a song that is apparently going to block your video. It's weird, I used it in a... I feel like I used it in a... some parody video I made a long time ago, years and years ago, and I don't understand why it's all of a sudden against the law to make it work, but it is. Cops came to my house and everything. Can you imagine? You're under arrest for playing Bongo Bong on your YouTube channel. But officer, I was just spreading diversity. Oh, well, in that case, carry on. Oh, man. Eventually there will be a utility that stops that from happening. So with normal doodads, when you're placing them, they can't be erased. But we don't have normal doodads, we have blends. Because we're taking existing tiles and editing them. Or not editing them in this case, but we are placing them in abnormal manners. So they are liable to break, more or less. I wonder if the bridge is really necessary here. This whole area might benefit a little bit more from... It should definitely be pulled out like this, but it might be better if this is... justified a little bit better, maybe. Yeah. So let's use a longer bridge. Wow. How open do I want this area to be is the question. Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think of where I would have the AI be sending its shit. play some doodads over here. Decorate it all nice. I can't do interior design, but I can do map design. Fucking god, dude. We're listening to some powerful music right now. I'm Joe Rogan. Welcome to my stream. Oh, I see. Blizzard really should have made more than 3 variations of these edge tiles. It really doesn't make any sense why there's so few. Looks very silly. There you go. We did it, guys. It's one of those things where you probably don't notice it unless you've played this game like hundreds of times, thousands of times. Like, it's like, yeah, whatever. So what? Who cares? I care. I wish I didn't. Or do I? Maybe it's all in my church. These are not the standards you're looking for. Let's try that again. We did it, guys. We made a epic blend. Hey, what's going on, Chris? How you doing? So far, this is going pretty well. I'm just setting up the base for the UED AI. So pretty soon this will all be in a script somewhere. And depending on how much time I end up committing to this on this stream, maybe we'll go over and start blind coding the Zerg base area. How about you? How's your remodeling going? Did you manage to finish all that, or is it still a work in progress? What's going on, Bailithal? How you doing? Oh, I hope it's going well. How's your linked list move going? Did that end up working out, or are you still working on that too? Oh. Sounds like it's business as usual. I never know what to make of those errors. But I guess it depends on what it's actually showing you. Iquar was on earlier. He probably could have helped you out. Unfortunately, I'm no good at that stuff. We're easing our way into it by placing some structures, listening to some XD music, I guess. I don't know what it is. Oh wait, that's not the right one. We'll get down to the nitty-gritty shortly enough. Soon enough. Placing some tiles around here. This is exciting. Oops. Alright, I can't look at this. Too much shit. Oh, it should give you an error window if you're using Visual Studio. I don't know how you have yours set up, but... Misclick. Like, I've got my output window here, but I can just tag over to error list on the bottom. And it tells me what's going wrong. So if I do something like haha lol, it shows me identifier haha is undefined, and it expects a semicolon. I don't know what yours looks like by comparison, but hopefully that helps you out. Although sometimes it can't be trusted. Sometimes you have to, like, just clean it and recompile. The same window that you use, or the same, whatever it is, context menu that you use to press build, unless you're using the hotkey, obviously. It's in there. It's like build, clean. You clean it and then rebuild it, and it usually works. For weird shit that if it's like your path environment variable is not properly cemented to your forehead. What do we do? Yeah, I never really understood why it does that. I just know that sometimes that happens. Oh, shit! I think it's okay if they don't have too many bunkers. Because they'll probably end up having a very mobile force and some permanent guards or something. Yeah, I figured it was probably something to do with some weird file association. Like, it usually happens when I replace the entire code in a file, because iCore will send me an update to, like, initialize CPP or gamehook CPP or something like that. They'll send me, like, a new file of that nature. And I'll just copy the contents after opening it in Notepad++, and then paste it in, and it'll be like, oh, No! So then I have to remind it who its father is. Catch my drift. They certainly will have a lot of factories. Otherwise, I probably need a couple more armors. Vaguely symmetrical going on. How much supply is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 16. Oops. 128. So that's not actually that much. Space will definitely be cluttered up. Just a tad. Alright, I am fighting off a food coma right about now, as I just ate, but I'm sure I will wake up if given enough time. So, why don't we figure out what we're doing here? I think that's tier 6. Let me see what we got here. Hey, I remembered correctly. Huh. Well, did you include that file at the top of your document? I feel like that should be fine. What happens if you remove it in the file that you're trying to work with? If you remove it in one of them, does it then complain that it's not defined in that file? So I'm thinking that maybe because you included it, it's reading those variables or something? I don't know. You probably know more about that than I do. Well, I guess you're declaring a value technically, but it's already been defined elsewhere. I don't know, man. That doesn't really make much sense to me. Dude, this is some bumpin' music, guys. Bump. This is like knockoff Undertale music or something. And Undertale was already knockoff. Let's say it makes the most sense for the first couple depots to be together. I'm gonna try to code this one more intelligently than I did the Terran base. The Terran base is kind of a clusterfuck. So let's try to make that a little bit less ridiculous. The depots are not used as defensively in the UAD base as in the Dominion base. So as of that, because of that reason, I think we can mostly focus on placing some initial barricade depots, and then the rest of them will be a bit more general use. So, I'm going to start with this area, these two. And then I think we can do these two. And it'll just be progressing further to the right. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say earlier, but because you're including a file and I don't really remember exactly what my train of thought was on it, but I probably worded it really poorly or something. Ah, right. I guess that makes sense. So you have to declare it only in the single file that you're... Well, can you modify it if you don't declare it? Like, can you modify it in a separate file or something? That poses a problem. Let's say west. West ramp. Holy shit! Good one. I resumed the mix halfway through instead of restarting it. I don't know about that. I'm afraid I'm gonna have to say rewind. Alright, and then it does that. How lewd. Alright, we'll do that for now. 5 defined, 2 more spots. Oh, I see what I did. I was a goofball. It sounds like you're having a very fun time. This is probably something simple enough once you know how to do it, but otherwise seems really fucking goofy, right? Hard to know for sure. Yeah, I don't know anything about the way that GPTP is designed, unfortunately. You would call what GPTP is a library, I believe, right? Like a code library. So that gives you 170 supply with the command center. Oh shit. Bum, 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 bum. This is a good one, if I remember correctly. Yeah, that's probably the case. Spooky music, dude. It's going to be pretty cool seeing these AI face off against each other eventually. That'll be one of the easier ways to test out how everything is, how everything works out. think I may have talked about this on one of the other streams, but I think having it so that the AI can play out against each other. If I know, like, say by default, Kerrigan's AI is supposed to win, right? I don't know if that'll actually end up being the case, but say it is. If that ends up happening like that, and Kerrigan is supposed to win against all three of the AI just by default, then any new personality I develop for her, any new script I develop for her to run over her base, would then have like a natural like end point saying like, all right, if it beats them too soon, then it's probably too strong. And if it doesn't beat them, or it takes too long to beat them compared to the average victory time of the other personality, I have a standard to hold it against. I feel like that'll be particularly useful when it comes to vetting how powerful or, you know, how overpowered or underpowered an AI is. It's not everything, because obviously other AI have the same strengths as one another in a sense. They're really good at multitasking, not so great at, you know, actual using their brain because they don't have one. But when it comes to spending money and casting spells and stuff, they're pretty accurate with that stuff. Very, very quick on the draw. So in that respect, could be interesting. See where they go with that. Definitely be a useful tool, like sort of like a sandbox for your AI. Oh, I do not have an academy placed for these guys. Should probably do that. Well, it's not the 57 missile turrets or whatever the Dominion have, and it's not the 40-something cannons that the Protoss have. But I guess the UAD's bases are, or in general, their base area is a little bit more compact. They could probably spell out some extra production over here. Maybe I'll add that in later on, or I'll make that like a independent town. two on the west ramps. Probably could be another one somewhere, but I don't know where to put it without blocking too much pathing. So we'll say 2 here, 1 there, 3 there. Maybe we do 2 of them in the starports. 2. Maybe you should just make your own scheme instead, yeah. Or you could help iQuare with the data structure plugin. I'm feeling ambitious. Make it so we don't have to replace existing unit entries and upgrade entries and all that. We can just import our own in plain text. That's a dream. Or you can just start smashing Blizzard until they give you the source code. I'm sure they will be receptive to being annihilated physically. Imagine like a vigilante dressed like Batman, who's like, "Where's the source code?" Holding him off the ledge or something. I would, yeah, exactly. Gives him a little pat on the head with a hammer. How'd it work out? I feel like the answer to that is a sea of tears or something. You mean Undertale? I still can't believe Undertale was like a gig of RAM or something crazy. I mean, I know that's why. It's so shocking when you look at what you're playing. Well, it's shocking anyway. It's just looking at it will shock you. But once you get past that, you look at the system specs. That's when you really start having a field day. Well, I'm sure as soon as they saw the commercial success of Undertale, Game Maker got a lot of business off of that alone. Whoa, how the fuck did I get over here? Hey, how'd I get here? Classic joke. Yeah, it's just a shame that, like, Unreal, for example, doesn't have any presets for stuff like that. It does seem like whatever you end up trying to do, you would certainly require I don't know, you'd require something. Your own engine, some sort of investment of how many times do I have to click this? Seriously. Yeah. That's a problem. It doesn't necessarily have to come with assets, just the ability code-wise to manipulate what you're doing. You know what I mean? It seems almost impossible to find something like that. Yeah. It may very well be one of those things where you kind of need to pad your resume doing shit you don't necessarily like to do or want to do in order to get enough people interested in backing you to make an RTS. It's sort of like how those, you know, there's those directors that make movies or whatever that are financially successful, and then when the time comes, they are able to move on and make a movie that they actually want to make, or have had always dreamt of making, something like that. Yeah, that's what I was going to say, is you kind of have to get your name out there in a different way than what an RTS provides. Yeah. Experience can be valuable, for sure. It's one of the reasons why I'm so interested in making all of these melee mods and stuff. It lets me get into RTS design and balancing and all that stuff without actually being, you know, having the luxury of being able to just make my own RTS. Looking forward to designing Project Hydra for that reason. And all of this stuff. I mean, Nemesis Omega's got like that replayability, that sort of pseudo-custom game mode, arcade-style feel. You just play the same map over and over again. So there's that too. I actually think that every single thing I'm going to work on this year, as far as game projects go, it's doing something on it's going to help me somehow in a way that maybe I'm not expecting it, or it's building towards an understanding of a better understanding of game design in some way or another. And I think that's good. I didn't know I never really had an understanding of what I would go on to do, or what I would want to translate all of this stuff into. Part of me was like, oh, I'll just make, you know, StarCraft stuff forever. And then another part of me was like, well, obviously that won't happen, but eventually I'll just stop and move on and do something else. Like, I don't know what's going to happen, but now I can see how it's all building together to make something greater in the future. I'm looking forward to doing that. Yeah, I mean, it all builds, you know, whatever you're working on is going to help you figure out what kind of game you want to make in the future, what worked and what didn't. You know, it gives you that experience, and that's one of the reasons why, anyways, I feel like it's really nice that I have the ability to rely on maybe not rely, communicate with a community. Say like, hey, you know, what do you guys think of this? So it's always nice. Appreciate you guys. It's awesome, dude. Yeah, that is true about Void. There hasn't been a good one in 20 years or something. I don't know. I mean, I think there's a reason, right? Like, it's hard to say for sure because you look into other genres of games, and you see the same sort of shit, and it doesn't seem like anybody's really learned anything, right? The FPSs are done over and over again, and you know, stuff like that. It's hard to look at that and say, okay, I can see that there's growth in the FPS genre. You know what I mean? Nobody would ever say that. That's like that's like you'd say that as a way to make your friends laugh. It's not something you would say unironically. Yeah, and so that's why I'm not sure about this theory of mine. Because I have a feeling that one of the reasons why people are so, like, they're just desperate for everything. Like, for example, one of the reasons why I think custom content is so big in the RTS genre is because nobody else is making content for RTSs. Nobody else is making anything even resembling an RTS. Companies aren't, big game publishers and developers aren't. And so, of course, these people need to rely on whatever they can get. They don't have the luxury of choice. They don't get to choose better products, you know? I mean, they could, technically. Like, there are products that are better than custom content, I'm sure. But maybe they've already played all those. Maybe they're done with those. Maybe they don't want to play those anymore. Either way, it's like slim pickings. Yeah, exactly. There's nothing for RTS gamers to, like, enthusiasts to really look at this point. They got to go back and look at like all this old stuff, and they got to look for some custom content because there's not really any new RTS games out there. They have to settle for a lot of what's the term? Like, so they have to take a lot of shit in order to enjoy an RTS, or you know they have to like sacrifice a lot of personal standards, right? So I understand why people are like so open to that sort of stuff in a way. I can see why. I can see why like they would be so quick to allow other companies or really poor custom content or whatever to like why they would spend time playing them, because there's not really much in the way of competition. So it makes sense in that respect. Yeah. Like, I think the only way that the industry accepts something like StarCraft 2, I'm not even talking about its awful story, its terrible campaign. I just mean purely talking about the game itself. Like, the multiplayer, the experience of playing it. I think the only reason an industry of professionals and casual gamers accept that, of consumers, accept that, is because there's literally nothing else that they can play. What else are they going to play? They're not going to go, yeah, let me go to play Red Alert 3. Okay. Where's my cyanide, dude? I mean, there's stuff that's out there, but it's not really an RTS, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying that as a no true Scotsman either. I mean, they're like, they include other mechanics. Maybe they sample from Warcraft, or they sample from, I don't know. There's been a lot of experimentation in RTS, but there hasn't been a lot of actual, like, fundamental RTS stuff out there since StarCraft 1. Like, Warcraft 3 had all that experimental shit in it. Age of Empires had the civilizations, and, like, you know, it's not really the conventional stuff that you think of. Yeah, I played it. I should have done a campaign run, like I will probably reinstall it at some point and do another live stream of it or something. It's not really that great. It's not that terrible either. It's like, it's just very meh. There's just nothing good about it. Nothing really terrible about it. It's just, it is what it is. They teased some DLC that I don't think they ever released. So. You do get to spin around as an orc, so there's some comedic value in the experience, but it's not, you know, can only take you so far. Alright, so I drank some gay coffee stuff that I found at the market earlier. And oh, low caffeine. I was wondering why I didn't feel any effects at all. Alright, well, how about this? What's this got? Well, this one says not intended for anyone sensitive to caffeine. Oh, it's got 140 milligrams by comparison. I guess I'm trying this one out. This is Rebel, R-E-B-B-L. Why do all these companies try to find out crazy ways to spell words in the English language? I guess everything else is trademarked. They don't have any choice. We gotta be a bull. Red Bull? No. Red Bull. Sorry, I don't speak Mongoloid. Well, I do, but I try not to tell anybody. They all know anyways. Most recent RTS games are half-assed or we're trying really hard not to be RTS. Yeah. It's either you're trying really hard to not be RTS, or you're not trying hard to be RTS. It's one or the other. It's like you got an RTS engine, and you're not actually trying to make it into an RTS, or you don't have an RTS engine, and you're like, fuck it, dude, let's call it an RTS. I don't know, man. I was actually going to use the webcam for this stream, but I don't know where the fuck it is. Let me see if I can find it. Put my beautiful face live on. Oh, you know what it is I think you can only use the webcam in one OBS. Okay, yeah, I can figure that out. That's not terrible to figure out. The reason why I wasn't showing up is because you can only. I have two OBSs. I'm multicasting and multi-encoding and all that. So. Oh, I'm blowing my nose. I'm muting the mic. Would have been very funny if I had not muted the mic. Thought I did. And you just hear me slamming stuff around in the back. Okay. Alright, let's see if I can do this. We'll try it on Mixer first. I think Mixer has the webcam. Hi! That is me. What's going on, dude? That's not right. Alright. How big do I want to be? I am a big man. YouTube will see me soon, don't worry. So why can't I, what happened to the circle cut that I had on this? Maybe I turned it off? Ah, there we go. Good one. This is some live editing, guys. Okay, that looks good. Well, it looks about as good as it's gonna be. Whoa! Why did I became a big man. Holy shit. YouTube must be very confused right now. I can be a little bit bigger than that. Get a good shot of my door. Check out my door, dude. I don't know where to put myself, so I'll just leave myself on the bottom left. Now I gotta preview that. Then, in the other OBS, where's my YouTube OBS? Here it is. So now, I get to add another... what the fuck? Wait, what did I just do? Do I have multiple OBSs? I mean, I do, but that's not what I wanted to do at all. Oh, I see. I did the wrong thing. Hold on, guys. We're live troubleshooting, dude. It's not really much of a troubleshooter. Oh, this is my jam. Yes, display capture. Secondary. One. Don't worry, guys. It'll go away soon. Here it is. Why don't I just do window capture? Where's window capture? OBS 60. So, I think that's it. Which OBS should I be using? There we go. We did it. What's going on, guys? It's me, dude. How you guys doing? Alright. So, I wish I could minimize that somehow. I'm staring into the void. Yeah, something like that, man. So basically the way that I have to do this since I'm multicasting is I have one OBS show me a preview. That's the Mixer OBS, which is the live cam feed. And then I have myself on the camera, right? And then we have the second OBS capture the first OBS's preview. It's quite the experience. Anyways, this is the Rebel shit I was talking about. Not a sponsor. I don't get those. Too foul-mouthed. It's alright, I guess. It's a little, I think there might be a little too much going on. They say with coffee, simplicity is usually a good trait. I don't know if I believe that, but I don't drink that much coffee, so I'm not really an expert in there. Hey, you know what's a good thing about doing this this way? I should probably do this even when I don't have the webcam on. Because if I want to AFK, I don't have to open up both OBS. I just open up the Mixer OBS and set that one to the AFK screen. The Be Right Back screen. And then that one, then the YouTube OBS picks up that one in the preview. So it would just swap over for both. I think that's how it would work. Otherwise, I would just like accidentally dox myself or something, probably. Very embarrassing. So, now that distraction is over with, we were seeing myself right over here. Check that out, dude. That's an infinite loop if you look hard enough. If you squint, you can see an infinite mouse. Let's see if I can pick my own nose. I don't think it works. Can you believe the nerve of Nude Raider on the Start It Shoutbox telling me to grow up because I said ass world. Still funny, I don't give a shit. It's funny. Say, wait. I can see the void. The void picks my nose. Can't do that on camera anymore. Well, I'm on camera, so I can't do that. Can't be digging for gold. Coffee is such a horrible aftertaste. If you're not used to it. I don't know if anybody in here is a coffee drinker. But man, it is not my favorite thing. One could say. And be accurate. Okay. So you know how that feels? Whether or not that woke me up at all? We'll find out. Oh yeah, I forgot. This is the song where they just have random gunshots and police sirens in the background. Why do they do that? It sounds fine at normal speed, but we're on 1.25 times speed, so it just kind of sounds like somebody is farting in the background of the song. Kind of destroys the mood. I apologize. It was not my intention. Forgot this was in the mix. So I'm very excited to start getting back into single-player content soon. I've got a couple of ideas that are brooding away. The farting wasn't in the music. Oh, shit! I told you I don't drink coffee normally, guys. Was not expecting it. I feel like I've already tweaked this. See, there it is. It's not me. Told you. Exposed. Dude, why is there any stuff like that? Oh, wait. The one. Snake! I still don't know what this does. Like, why does... Well, I know what it does, but why does Control do that? Why does it select half of what you're selecting? And then Alt is fine, but... That's so strange. What would be the utility of this? Besides... drawing a bunch of squares everywhere, because... Oh! Oh, okay! You can actually just do that over and over again, then select everything. Hello, I am Suicidal Insanity, and I like to make this happen. Thanks, SI. What a tool, dev. I can't believe nobody ever PayPal'd him or anything for all the tournaments that used his maps. All of the without well, not his maps specifically, but without SEM draft, presumably the scene would have been able to construct something, even either way, but it does boggle the mind a little bit that he didn't receive anything for his work. Because, like, without SEM draft, none of this stuff would have, happened. Would have needed to make a different map editor. That's one of the reasons why, unfortunately, it's really difficult to find any fault in any... Well, it's not really unfortunate that it's like that, but it's like... It's sort of one of those catch-22s. Where you want to be able to you want to be able to hold people responsible for like shoddy coding or whatever. You want to be like, oh, come on, you should do better than that. What's wrong with you? But you can't really expect that anybody in the scene would have thought, oh yeah, this program I'm coding for a you know, an already like 10-year-old, 15-year-old game is still going to be important in 5 years. I don't remember how old StarCraft was when SEM draft was made. Presumably it was pretty early on. But no, but I don't think anybody would have expected StarCraft's longevity to be as legendary as it ended up being. And so in that case, I understand why people did they did whatever they needed to do to make the program run right this second, and they didn't really think too far ahead about stuff like that. Makes some sense. Yeah, not just sophisticated maps, but like all of the ladder maps that were made for the pro scene, they were made using SEM Draft. Like the iCup ladder maps, the Kespa stuff, like all those tournaments. The maps in them, the maps in the competitive ladder pool now are made using SEM Draft. Like, it's crazy how influential that map editor ended up being. It's not just for like the UMS scene, the RPGs and stuff. It's certainly a part of it. But the main claim to fame that this game had, and still has, is its competitive nature. Which, a game like this is balanced around maps. And if maps are not balanced themselves, then you get into some real squirrely territory. To quote Mr. Rogan. So, pretty crazy. If I had a little bit more disposable income, I'd probably be sending him cat picture money. He's a photographer on the side. He likes to take photos of his cats. Or, not his cats. He has, he goes to, like, the zoo or something and takes photos of African tigers or some shit and goes on safaris. Jafari. So, there you have it. So CR12 returned to the Discord server, and I think nobody commented on it or said anything, I don't think. I just remembered that one. That's pretty good. I saw him on there. I was like, what the fuck? Okay, never mind. Never mind. Hoop Thrower gave him a smoochie, and Chalks gave him a keyboard emoji, and then Mesk wrote a racist poem. So there was some development there. Can't read that on YouTube. My mom will see. My mom did say that she saw a notification when I was streaming. She was like watching Netflix or something, but she uses my brother's Xbox account. She's like, oh, I saw you were streaming the other day. I tried to tune in, but it wouldn't let me. I was like, oh. If you remember, that was the stream where we were watching basically porn music videos that people were linking. So it's probably a good thing that she didn't see that. The entire time I'm just saying, I'm gay. This is gay. Why am I watching this? Gay. Gay, by the way. She'd be like, I didn't know you were a homosexual. Sorry, Mom. It's by request. Somebody requested that I become a homosexual. It's just for donations, I swear. What an absurd life. Okay. Let us continue on. So we were building. Ooh, excuse me. Now you can see me on, so I have to say excuse me every time. That I yawn. I wonder if I can make it the AI work if they only get 50 minerals. They still cheat with their income a little bit. They get more resources per return than the conventional player would. But I think I can do it. Oops. I think it can. I can make it happen. Should be doable. I wonder what happens if I move this this display. Where is it? Oh. What if I move it to my second desktop? Seems like that didn't change anything. Cool. Well, hopefully somebody will let me know if it is broken. That seems fun. Cool. Now I don't have to look at my own head every single time I alt-tab. Which means I won't know if something embarrassing happens. How embarrassing. You guys gotta tell me if a killer walks into the room and threatens to end my family. Not sure about that. Okay. Since we know the first two depots are over here, the second two are over here. Wait, is it the first? Yeah, the fifth depot is in the main. So the first depot goes here. And that's fine. If the AI was a little bit more intelligent with the way that it used its units, I would probably do a full wall off or something. Theoretically, I could do that. I might experiment with that in a different map. But it's possible to, like, make the AI lift off its structure and move it somewhere else. Which would be pretty funny. They wall themselves off and then they lift it off. That would look pretty professional. That would be like some good shit right there. Oh, excuse me. Oh, I guess I didn't wake up that much. One refinery, 2 refinery, 3 refinery. They might just rush straight to a factory right out the gate, I think. Maybe they'll make 2 barracks or something. I think it's 1,200 for a barracks, 1,200 frames. Oh, I didn't do bunkers, I just realized. That will be a problem if I do not correct it. Maybe one in the north, one south, one north, one south, just alternate. I was thinking more on the issues that we were running into for the Dominion AI, and maybe one of those things that I did, and I'm not sure, I haven't looked at the script yet for this, but it could very well be possible that the reason why they were sending guards before the bunkers was because, like, I may have set the parameters for the bunkers to share priority, which means that they just went in an order that the AI determined as opposed to whatever I was trying to make them happen, or make happen. Because everything else I was setting up such that, for example, if I give the same priority to 3 different declarations, then the AI just decides what order to do those in. And it might be different than what I was thinking they would do it in, or the order that I put them in, because I think it determines it like based on what's closest to its main or something. So that may have been what happened there. We'll do north, east, west, or, sorry, southeast, then northeast. I think there's only 10, right? 1, 2, 3. I mean, I could probably place one somewhere else, but I think this is fine for now. We'll see if that if my theory is accurate whatsoever. We will find out what's going on here. I still have no leads on why the Zerg stack their buildings the way that they do. We may be stumped forever on that particular one. That's not what I was trying to do. Before I was able to use the back button to go back and forth. Oh, I see. If I moved them here, I would be able to do it. Okay, that's fine. I was wondering what was going on there, because it's just doing them left to right. I thought they were independent views. We can do 4. They don't have to be all crazy like that. Let's check the Dominion. It's a bit time for me to take a look at whether or not that's right. Yeah, so some of them have the same priority, which is probably the issue. Like if I did something like this, where I made it just descend like the others. Maybe that'll help. I don't know. Let's grab the syntax from here. I was also thinking I'd probably tell them to load Firebat into even the anti-air bunkers, which would be useful, I guess, if they drop some Zerglings or something, but in most cases it's not going to happen. So, if I had to guess. So, we'll have to remember that one. I also showed Iquare the fact that the AI was requesting tanks and ghosts to bunkers and turrets, and he's like, he had no idea why that was happening either. That behavior is associated with if you use the build bunkers or build turrets command, which is different than writing like build one bunker, whatever priority. But I've never seen it happen with just telling the AI to build stuff, so it seems like a flag is being set somewhere that should not be being set. And they're also stacking depots and bunkers and all sorts of other weird shit. Dude, he's the magic man. Watch out. He's magic. Check him out. Hashtag magic man. I say 80 appears to be the priority. The surviving priority. Talk about quality RTS. Balefall and I were talking about RTS games that would rival StarCraft 2. Priority Survive does the fucking job. Better watch out. Surely showed me how to move anyways. Dude, it should. That is actually a feature Priority Survive has that I've never seen in any other RTS. Oh wait, this is the wrong... That's pretty funny. Just copying the wrong bunker. Coordinates. And I didn't even notice. Would have been really funny to have the UED put an SCV all the way in the Dominion's base and stack a bunker on top of one of their bunkers. Completely reasonable behavior, of course. Because it does ignore allied units as well as their own. So. And that spin key tech was ported to Brood War, so you can thank Iquare for that. Truly magical. We got to get a late night stream crowd going. We got the early morning crowd. But the late night crowd's really only used to having mod night happen, and they're not for like another 3-4 hours. Which, speaking of which, I don't know if there will be a mod night this week. I'm going to be busy. Oh, I should be available Saturday night. I don't know about Friday, though. What about you, Bailiff? Are you available this weekend? Friday or Saturday? Wow. So you actually can thank Iquare and his stupid spin key. It's pretty amazing. Imagine that. Yeah, I think it'll probably be Saturday. I feel like Voy said that Saturday he would be available, but I don't think he'd be available for Friday. Oh, they only use normal fire bats. I forgot. You know what it might be? The reason why those units were entering or not entering the bunkers might be that for some reason load bunkers isn't counting them as, or it's not accepting guards in this plugin. I don't know. It seems like it might have been the case, but at the same time, it also makes no sense whatsoever. So I don't know. I don't know what to tell you about that one. It is a disaster. They're already building one factory, they're building the academy, they should probably be building a couple more depots if they're going to be doing that. So why don't we do like... I've also decided that because these town threads are so enormous, I'm going to be separating the guard requests into a different thread. Mostly using bring jump to detect when stuff is finished, but also just general timings. And if I need to, I can always set kills or deaths or something. If I need to keep track of specific variables, like set them in one thread so that the other one responds. That should be relatively simple. For this AI, they're probably going to be stationing a fair number of... Did I get these? What do we have here? Okay, those are the first two ones, actually. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, I completely lost my train of thought for whatever I was about to say, but I'm sure it was important and very educational. You know what? It will actually be somewhat important and certainly educational. Is the level design videos I'm going to be doing soon. I'm going to basically be doing similar to the cast over that I did, or I actually did 2 cast overs for that alternate mission that I worked on, where I was casting over Connor's playthrough. I'm going to be playing missions, like just recording a silent playthrough of them so I can focus on the gameplay. And then I'm going to be like doing a cast over of that recording. And at that point it'll be mostly like a retrospective on the mission, giving my thoughts on certain interactions that I have. And then after the playthrough is done, I'll like rewind or speed up or whatever whenever I need to. But after the cast over is complete, if I have any final thoughts or whatever that I would want to say, to wrap up, I can always open the video in the editor, or open the map in the editor, rather, and show specifically what I was talking about. Like, maybe show some suggestions for the map, like, here's what I would change, or whatever. So the first thing I'm going to work on related to that is going to be the 5th map of Inconsummate. I think that will be a useful starting point for that kind of content. So, all the same, if anybody has any specific maps they want looked at, either of their own creation or just a specific map that they thought would be interesting, I don't mind taking a look. Very strange. StarCraft handles tiles in bizarre ways. StarCraft works in mysterious fucking ways. That's for sure. Okay, so build an armory, a couple factories. Ooh. Gotta remember I can use the front forward, the forward key on my mouse if I need to jump ahead. Yeah. I remember when I first discovered that the tiles were actually square, I thought there was some corruption going on with the map editor that I was using. I think that was around the same time that I found the extra editor and started placing units in like on top of each other or in unbuildable terrain, like on top of ice. And I would save maps that were called Hacked Map LOL in all capital letters, thinking that I was an epic hacker, not realizing that that was the whole fucking point of the map editor that I was using, was to be able to place stuff in different locations. Being 12 was a trip, that's for sure. Yes, that was like an actual file name. hackedmaplol.scx. I'm not making that up either. Man, I kind of wish I had access to that old hard drive, because there's tons of stuff there. Like, I was able to recover a campaign I made a long time ago. I think it's in here. Yeah, well, just look at the fucking map titles. Revamped. Look at it. R-E-V-A-M-E-D. Let's see what's so revamped about it, dude. Well, 9 invalid units deleted during map load. Not a good sign. Oh, I see. I wonder what the invalid units were. Dude, this map doesn't even work. I never even finished the triggers for this. You know what happened is this map actually crashes when you start the game. And I'm not joking when I say I don't know why. But I assume it has something to do with the fact that I have selected almost 1,000 spider mines. $805 spider mines. Of the 1,200 units on this map, or 1,100 units, so there's only 300 other units. That's pretty cool. Anyways, this is the map I was talking about. You're placed on ice. Also, note how there is no terrain. It's just this one thing. The closest thing there is to terrain is some unbuildable shit. There's not even an AI on the map. Pretty epic. So there you go. I have stuff like that. I have stuff that's maybe worse than that, actually. One invalid unit. Oh, that's pretty good. Very epic map. Why does it say sound? It says sound because I imported some sounds. What is mind? Okay. Why did I import these? What is the point? Mind. Yeah, mind. What I was not using when working on that. Probably has something to do with it. Don't look at it, guys. Don't. Avert your gaze. Quick. Code more AI. Faster. Code it faster to make the pain go away. The pain of being 8 and working with extra editor. Clips are for chumps, yeah. Oh, man. Maybe that's why I am so... I always keep coming back to my comedic campaign ideas. Maybe it's because I have unfinished business with shit like that, where it's just so absurd. It's like, alright, dude, you must be a lunatic to even consider releasing something like that. Even, I don't care how old you are. Or maybe I'm just laughing the pain away. I'm actually a deep and troubled character with a depressing and dark, brooding backstory. Please include me on your next trip to the void. Hey, I was 8 or something. I posted those to a forum, and somebody was like, there's not even any terrain here. I was like, I'm 12. I don't know, I said something really stupid. I was like, yeah, I was actually hoping you guys would react like this. I wanted to see how you guys would react to a campaign this bad. Haha, I gotcha, it was intentional. I was only pretending to be a retard. That was literally my epic comeback to when they said that the maps were horrible. Can't make this stuff up, dude. I mean, I could, but would be less funny if it was fake. Fraudulent and homosexual, as 4chan likes to call it. I was actually interested in looking back at some of the really old stuff that I... Like, not that old, but years old, like 2013, 2014. Great. Fantastic. Looks like we're back. It's back on my end anyway. What the fuck? That's some sick shit. Wow. Why did I put it on the fucking engineering? Reaver, by the way. I see you! Just kidding. Yeah, I was just looking at these old maps.
There are no more barriers to cross.
Oh shit!
All I have in common with the uncontrollable and the
Here comes the witch house, dude.
the evil. All the mayhem I have caused and my utter indifference toward it, I have now surpassed.
What was I gonna say?
My pain is constant and sharp, and I do not hope for.
Yeah, I was just looking at some of these old missions and thinking like,
I want my pain.
it's interesting to go back and see what your thought process was for
There's no catharsis. My punishment continues to evade me.
what good gameplay looks like. You know what I mean?
Extracted from my telling. This confession.
See if I can find. Oh, you know what? It's probably in the Zabalba section. If I go back to the original Resilience Rising map, as you can see just by the mini-map alone, we have some problems here. But the main thing about this is when I was... Yeah, there's so many Zerg here. The main thing about this map was that it was my first attempt at like trying to... It's hard to say with a straight face, but you know, it's kind of like my first professional project, or where I was really taking things seriously. Like, I had a vision, I planned out the campaign somewhat, and I tried to deliver on that vision. And obviously it wasn't great, and you've never heard about the project, so you know it wasn't released. Like, it wasn't release worthy, blah blah blah, never finished. Not super crazy in that respect. But it was challenging, and it was sort of fair in a way. Like, these structures that you see pre-placed and stuff, the Nidus canals, the hatcheries, the spawning pools, the Hydra dens, they spawned units in through triggers, but they were tied to the existence of those structures. So, this is before I got into AI editing, obviously. Otherwise, I wouldn't have done that. But the fact that I was doing that meant that you then had the ability, and the onus was on the player to like stop the enemy from attacking using those structures. It was very binary. You either killed it or it spawned units at you. It didn't really scale over time, and obviously was very artificial and kind of broke immersion. So you had to sort of suspend your immersion, unfortunately. But I think it was still an interesting time. Like, I don't put a lot of stock into the design behind it. Obviously, there's a whole lot of pre-placed stuff. The whole map feels very closed off in that respect. And the level design isn't spectacular either. But, yeah, I didn't really bother looking into AI or anything like that. I still didn't fully... Still didn't fully feel like the AI was the destination at that point. But I knew that the stock Blizzard scripts were not what I was looking for. So, that was alright. It was still about playing a build and destroy campaign. There wasn't, you know, micro missions or whatever, so that was cool. I mean, there probably were some planned. Like, I think this one obviously is less complete. I think this one was like a mission where you had an AI ally, and they were supposed to like progress through the map with you. But obviously, without modded AI, that's basically impossible. Like you were supposed to be sort of like that Tosh mission from Wings of Liberty, I think, except you were playing as Zerg. But either way, it's interesting to go back there and like see how far you've come in a way. Help remind you that, you know, it's a good reminder for progress, I guess. It's easy to get stuck in a rut mentally sometimes, especially if you're not naturally predisposed to being super positive or whatever, and be like, oh yeah, I guess I'm just spinning the wheels. But you're always working. I mean, I'm always working on improving myself and improving the things that I'm working on. So beyond the natural inclination I have to being curious about what my old self was like level design wise, like going back and remembering that stuff, you also get the bit of boost to morale when you go back and look at that. So there's that. Depot. Supply depot. Let's do... 8. Priority 8. Seems good, dude. Now, which bunker was I at? Which bunker is that? That's this another south ramp one. I'm really struggling to maintain focus, if you couldn't tell. Two, three, four, five, six. I will try my best to finish this thread before I hit the stream. We've only been live for 2 hours anyways. I'm sure I can manage another hour at least. Give the people what they want. Some AI scripting. That's what they're looking for. Oh, I just realized that this is probably laid out in the stupidest way possible. Hold on, let me open it. I'm blocking what I'm typing with this webcam arrangement. Really? Want to try that one again? There we go. What a goofball move by me. Let me just block the only potentially interesting thing about the visuals of the stream. You're gonna be paying attention. You'll kind of want to see my process, what I'm writing. I'm gonna learn AI. I see he's writing on his head. I don't know if that'll work for me. Not sure about that. What must have started with? Ah, machine shop. Machine. Of course. No wonder it wasn't popping up. Oh wait, what bunker is it? So you said you were going to be working on a balance mod for Warcraft 3 at some point. You still messing around with, you still going to be working with StarCraft at all, or are you moving on mostly? Moving back? Yeah, I've sort of gotten used to being able to just have whatever the hell I want, which is kind of weird. Like, it's weird because for the longest time I couldn't. It was the opposite. I had to work with whatever the hell I had, like you were sort of commenting on before. And now it's more like, oh, wait, I can just... Sure, iQuare can make everything happen. Nave can help. Sure, why not? And so it's like... went from almost one extreme to another, where suddenly the onus was on me to figure out what was there to, you know, what exactly should I be conceptualizing, right? That's one of the challenges of the Hydra new game state, for example, is like figuring out what, like, are there really limits anymore? Like, of course, there's some reasonable limits or whatever, but what do even those look like? You know, is now the limiter my creative ideas, like whether or not I can conceptualize something that's good enough for whatever standard I'm trying to hit. Whereas before it was just implementation. It was whatever you could implement, you tried to do. And you were always compromising your creative ideas to whatever you were implementing. It's sort of like when I came up with the, there was a tease that maybe DF would be getting into 3D soon. It seems like it's going to be something that he does later on, if he does it at all. And because of that, that was like, I started to think like, well, I've never actually had to do concept art or conceptualize a new sprite before, right? It was like whatever I can scrap cobble together, whatever I can recolor, whatever I can kit bash, you know, it was never like, oh yeah, I'm going to get an artist to do what I want in 3D, texture it, blah, 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 then render it as a sprite and then hand it to me. It was never like that. It was always, you know, something completely different. It was, you know, so it was a weird thought process to try and imagine. So anyways, the point of that whole side tangent was, it's a little bit more difficult now for me to remember, oh yeah, maybe you won't be able to do everything. Maybe there are things that will be out of the question or off the table. Like, there's some obvious ones, like, oh yeah, we can't, like, redo the graphics engine, or whatever, the renderer for the game to make it so that there's a resolution expander or something. That's, oh, excuse me. Yeah, let's just rewrite the entire game. I think Open Brood War was trying to do that anyways, right? To some degree. They were basically trying to make an open source Brood War. I don't know if they're still going. I haven't seen any announcements since June 6th, 2017. Although they have been posting in 2018, but just comments, not new posts. So I don't know how they're getting along. Presumably not. They're not too far along, I would expect. It looks like they've basically like rewritten the engine or made an open game engine, open source engine that simulates Brood War. I don't know what that really means, but it's presumably not compatible with the actual game. Like, the whole point of it is to act as a simulacrum. Which is interesting, but not terribly useful, I imagine. Hey, I said draw units, not draw doodad sprites. Oh, you think I am some kind of frogger? What's wrong with you? I seriously don't get this song. Every time I hear it, it's like, what's going on in this? So this is actually 5 bunker, not 4. Oh no, this is supposed to be. See, I was right. What a goofball. Guess it just goes to show, I am always right. Nobody else ever. Oh, I didn't actually order the other factory. I don't speak Japanese, sorry. I don't think I'm forgetting anything. We'll order a 3rd armory in case. And then, how many bunkers are there total? It's 10? There's 11 factories and 6 starports. What's the next bunker? Southeast. Yeah, they definitely need something to protect themselves there, I feel like. Why don't we add another bunker for sort of like mid-control here? Thinking something like this. Should be good. Realistically, that should probably be upper, but I can do it. It's fine. Should be earlier in the script, maybe. So we're doing 7 bunker, 20. Put a factory into the bunker. Instead of shooting projectiles, it fires vultures. Someone needs to put that one in the game. Oh yeah, that was the other thing I was gonna do. Where's the... Oh, yeah. Safer the way that I was already doing it. I was gonna multi-run the starport thread, but... or the dropship thread. I'll handle that a little bit differently. Oh. Good one. I was gonna say, how did those get there in the predictive text, but it's air and attack are part of the script name. Solid. Factory around 7. Bunker number 8. Oh. Where's my bunker? So this is the wrong coordinates. Or is it? Something's wrong here. Yeah, I probably just thought those two numbers were too similar, and it didn't look that very hard at all. Alright, here's number 8. Where do I want to request the first science facility? Probably about here. Probably request a 4th armor arrangement. I don't remember how many barracks I requested. I know I have 6. Did I request the 6th star port? Get better eyes. How many turrets are there? 2. Also 20 turrets. Yeah, I was checking them out. I didn't really see much there, unfortunately. Oh, you know what? I should go back and find out where I posted that first. That is a response. After 5 months, that's definitely a response. Not good news, I guess. I think that's it. I think we've done all 6 control towers, all 11 machine shops, 2 science facility add-ons. We didn't get a ComSat after the academy, which we should probably fix. Should be good. Yep. 11 bunkers, 11 factories. Okay. There you go. Let's fire it up. See what it looks like. We pranked ourselves with one of the missile turrets. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. South ramp. Okay, these are not looking like duplicates. So, I assume we just never focused. And I thought I... Cool. Just those errors? I'll take it, dude. It's been quite the psychotic scripting experience so far, so... Let's see what it looks like. Do I even have the trigger to run this guy? Oh, I set it to ground attack and see there. Well, that's cool. That's something. Yeah, it might just be slow going. I still was not able to resolve the crash that we found a while ago when testing the Dominion town. So I actually have no idea what we're looking at in that respect. They do not appear to be building SCVs. They have requests for 8. They are not going past that for some reason. But they're also not requesting Marines. I'm sure they are, but they aren't building. What is going on? They have the money. Oh, they do not have the money. But they're not building any SUVs. So of course they don't have the money. What a bunch of dumbasses. Why aren't they doing that? Or why are they? Probably has something to do with priorities. So I'll try and make them all the same. See if that has anything to do with it. I guess I could. This isn't it. There you go. Nope. They don't give a. Oh! There's 5th. There's 6th. Holy shit, they're doing it. solid. I thought I set the first one to be down there. That's what I meant to do. I'll swap those in the editor. Sure, it'll be fine. No, I did. Those are the coordinates. Don't know why that's the case. Maybe they don't like this spot when it gets to the second engineering bay. Ah! 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 No! 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 Oh, no! Oh, guys, come on. You guys were doing so good. Look at how many factories you made with the issue. And then you built 30 bunkers and 10 supply depots. And ah, shit. Why? Come on, man. Ah, 2 barracks. What do you need 2 barracks there for, man? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with these spots, huh? Oh, man, you just wanted to make life harder for Iquare. That's not where that factory goes. Oh, no. That's not where that science facility goes. Hello? It goes up here. Right above this depot. What are you doing? Ah. Aside from that, things are okay. They are not training multiple dropships, though. They only have this one. Excuse me! No. Lift this one off, please. And, destroy that? Yeah, I guess they listened to me. Destroy that. Fucking destroyed my game. Well, that's more stuff I can send to Iquare for a bug report, I guess. Yeah, they don't like random shit. I don't know what's going on. They're just goofy-ass people. I guess I also have to set the worker counts in some of the other scripts. So let me find the probe commands here. They're gonna need to be 80. Check out my fucking drone music. It's not drone at all, unfortunately. I don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about. Alright, so that I think is going to do it. We're good. It's a shorter stream, only a measly 2 hours, 40 minutes. But, you know, sometimes you're streaming for 12.5 hours, sometimes you're streaming for 10 hours less than that. Thanks for hanging out, Bailiffal. And whoever else was idling in the background. Hope it was fun. And I will see you guys Friday for Mod Night. And maybe an Omega Mod stream earlier in the day. Bye.